Why fight when you can build it? Skip the store and just rebuild it. I got scrap wood in the garage, so I spend cash on a flat pack Mirage.
What's up, nerds? Back with another video. In this video, we've got another Crafting with Luke video, and this one is sped up like crazy because this was a 8-hour project or something like that. Basically, there was a shop near me that was doing free pallets, and I've been trying to get a little lean-to for my snowblower for an eternity, because the snowblower, I don't think it's like a 20-year-old snowblower. So, hey, if someone wants to steal it, go for it, right? And this is not like it's going to lock anybody down or lock this thing down. So it's like if someone wants to steal it, I guess it would make significantly more noise and it would be harder physically to steal. I've got a light that turns on in my house, so if you try to steal it in the middle of the night or something, there'd be this big bright light of you just trying to take this snowblower and put it on the back of a truck or something. But anyway, basically, I saw this place giving away these free pallets, and I was like, hell yeah, I can finally build this thing, because this project for the snowblower would probably require about $300 in wood, maybe a little cheaper, maybe like $250 in wood. But the 3 sheets of plywood by themselves would be around $150, plus all of the extra wood. Add another 100 minimum onto that. So, $250 to $300 for all the wood. And all I spent on this was about 125, maybe 150 at the most. And that was on a couple pieces of treated 2x4s and some spray paint. So you see, I basically put 2 of the pallets on the ground and then secure those with the 2 pieces of treated 2x4s on the sides. Oh, I'm sorry. I actually bought, like 4 or 5 2x4s. I ended up using them randomly on different parts. And you can see that obviously the pallets are black. I didn't get that part on camera of me spray painting everything. But before I did this project, obviously I went through and spray painted all these. I actually did get as well, part of the project cost was I did get some Flex Seal, because the purpose of this is obviously to hold a snowblower. Use a snowblower in the winter and snow melts and stuff, right? So I just wanted to kind of seal it up. I had some extra spray foam from like 2 years ago, and we'll get to that. I sealed this stuff up. But it was, this was a super, super simple project. I got some, you already saw in the beginning how I had that pallets, quote unquote pallets, but they were really just pieces of raised plywood. And then I removed all the nails from those. And that was the plywood that I used for the base and for one section of the roof. And then the rest of this was quite literally just a bunch of a pallet frame built with a bunch of pallets. And it pretty much worked out exactly in my mind how I wanted it to work out. So much of this project was removing nails, though. Oh, my God. Removing nails and balancing stuff so it didn't fall over when I moved away. But yeah, so anyway, talk about a little bit in this video. So you can see I used the treated 2x4s on the floor, and then I ended up securing it with some more treated 2x4s on the side, because I just have this thing open. This is a little bit fancier of a lean-to, and a lean-to, you might be able to see a little bit in the background. So I have a mini split heater, which essentially it's more used in commercial applications for like big buildings. But for me, my house is like a single single long unit. So it ends up working out really nice, because I literally can just take that and just have it on the side to heat the whole house or cool the whole house. And one of the things that I did earlier in the year that I didn't record, which is part of the reason why I was recording this, was literally just build a lean-to on top of that so that it didn't get covered in snow, it didn't get rained on, the sun wasn't blasting on top of it, and it did work. Obviously, when I didn't have the lean-to on top of it. However, it definitely had to work harder. In the summer, had to work harder to balance off how hot it was outside, blasting onto it. In the wintertime, you got the snow on top, the snow, the icing on of it. It just, why make it harder? So just a simple lean-to, and same kind of idea with this. And so you could see I'm using the spray foam that I mentioned a little bit earlier. And the spray foam was literally just it's not like I'm it's not like, again, this is pallets. These are free pallets. These are pallets that have been outside. You can see the wood's obviously not perfect. It's not like I'm expecting this to last 30, 40 years. If I get 5, 10 years out of this, I'll be happy. And then just, break it down, throw it outside for garbage pickup, for overhaul pickup. And I just put some foam on the bottom and on the outside, again, just so I don't get as much icing or buildup underneath, which I'm sure is going to happen, obviously. It was more so when I put the snowblower on top, it's got a little bit of an angle. So when I put the snowblower on top, the snow, when it melts, will drift off. The snow won't get into the bottom. The Flex Seal on the bottom will make it so it's not as super wet. It won't be sitting, stagnant water on top of it. Not like, again, hey, this is free plywood. I'm trying to do my best. I stayed about under, like we went over in the front, I stayed about under half the price. If let's say this was $250 to $300, and I put in $125 to $150, so I essentially saved myself 2/3 of the cost on the project by just making it out of pallets. So I'm fine with, $125, $150 for something to protect my snowblower, for something to protect my garbage cans, and just keep all of that. I mean, that for me is a big time W. So, it took me about 2 days, 3 days to finish, actually 3 days to finish all of this. But that was mainly from just letting stuff dry. I didn't want to, I wanted to give the Flex Seal plenty of time to cure the spray paint. Plus, I was traveling around a little bit. So, I did all of this one day and then came back the next day in the morning, spray painted some more, added a couple little things, but then I had to go travel some more. And then after that, come back. I just got, the nice thing about this stuff is, the spray paint, black spray paint and white spray paint as well. You can get them for $3 a can at Home Depot. This is literally just for visual stuff. It's not like, I expect this spray paint to do a whole lot. It's literally just to black it all out, just so it doesn't look like it's, just a bunch of wood brown, or I guess not brown, but, tan, I guess is that color. The color of wood is how I would describe it. But just so it doesn't look like just that, on the side of the house. At least it's got, a matte black finish, looks a little bit more presentable. But, not like people are driving past my house and going like, ew, oh my God, look at that. Ew, is that wood outside of his house? He built something for the side of his house? Ew. It's literally just something that I can put the snowblower on top and have, just so, the snowblower isn't covered in snow, is not just sitting on the side of the house getting beaten up by the elements. I mean, you can see I've got the the tarp on top of that, but the tarp, the wind, it gets blown around, and the rain, it's not exactly perfect. So what I'm doing now is I am cutting some 2x4s that are going to go on top of the two I'm not sure how to describe it, but I've got the 2 pallets that are used for the back of the, for the, to support everything on the back side. And those are screwed together, but one of them is a little bit shorter than the other. So essentially, I'm taking these treated 2x4s so that I can put them to secure the roof to, and to put that on top of the the whole thing. And so you can see coming up, boom, put that thing on top, and then that way I can screw that down, give it some more support. So everything's secured on the bottom, everything's secured to the sides, and now everything's secured on the roof, and it gives it some real nice support for the 2 pieces of plywood that are going to be the hinging roof parts. And actually, so I ended up making a hat rack inside of my house, and I did that with shiplap. So I ended up finishing this with I had the guy that had the free plywood stuff. He ended up not having any more plywood pallets, so I just made some I made some shiplap temporary plywood type little thing going on. But it ended up working out. Honestly, I think I spent another $60 on the shiplap. So I mean, definitely closer to 150. Although I guess, kind of I had bought that for a different project technically, but if you want to count that, I don't blame you for counting it. But so now, and again, all of this stuff is so half of this stuff, I mean, you could count it towards the project if you want for stuff that I've bought. However, contractor bags, I've got plenty of contractor bags at the house. Screws, I've got all the screws at the house. I didn't need to buy any screws. And so for this part, and I know it's all, this is plywood again. This is free plywood that's just been outside. It's not like I'm expecting much from this, but I might as well, go all out. If I can seal up the plywood, right, and make it so it's not just directly exposed, I mean, screw it, I'm going to seal it up. So I took the plywood panel and just coated it in some, or not coated it, but covered it with contractor bags, just because what I end up doing at the end of the video is I have leftover panels, or shingles, I'm sorry, I should say. I've got leftover shingles from when I got my roof done, and the person who had this house before me also had some shingles just in the basement, and it actually worked out pretty perfectly that I used up all of the rest of the shingles to put on top of this. So I've got the water protection of the contractor bags, and then I also have the shingles on top. So it's really, it's got some real nice protection from the elements, and I do like this snowblower, so might as well take care of it. And so right now what I'm doing is I'm in the back, in the garage in the back, and I forgot that I left the camera going. So I'm like, oh, that's right, I left the camera going for all that time. And I was like, you know what, I'm just going to keep talking. Why not? Screw it. I mean, whatever. It's, it is what it is. I'm not going to go back and edit this. This is already, freaking long video. But so end up doing all of that, take my break, come back, spray paint everything, and after that, we're moving on to the attachment of the hinges, spray painting all of the foam on the bottom. After I spray all of the foam, wait for it to cure, and then I used a X-Acto knife, or not an X-Acto knife, but the X-Acto blade to put that or to shear off all the extra so it's not bubbly. And then I've got these on kind of little wheel type things, or a little dolly to try to make it a little bit easier. And then it just was it ended up just being easier to just push it around, just lift it up and just move it around a little bit. The dolly was a good idea, but it really wasn't that super heavy, to be honest. So anyway, now it's time to play the game of how can I keep this thing held up when it's just me because I mean, like trying to get this thing held up with like this little pallet and trying to get it lined up for the hinges and everything was a little bit it wasn't exactly the easiest thing on the planet, but ended up. So what I like to do is you just screw on the furthest most screw into the that's on there, and then after that you hinge it up. But so now you can see with the snowblower what I meant before. So, and this actually worked out really well. I could use the 2x4s to hinge it to keep the top of it up, which was really nice. But there, bada bing, bada boom, baby. I mean, look at that. That looks so much better than just the snowblower hanging on the side. But this is not the final. I end up like thinking to myself, I'm like, am I going to put what am I going to put on this? Because I didn't have anything else to put on top of it. And I was like, all right, for now, I'll just put this back on top. You can see I've got enough space for a work garbage can. I've got enough space for this thing to fit in there, no problem. And it's right next to the lean-to for the mini split, which keeps the house nice and cool or hot. And, a pretty decent little project. But like I said, that's not the end of the end, because I wasn't going to just sit there and, half-ass my half-ass project. So here's my shiplap little roof thing that I got going, and I got much better about holding it up without, a pallet. And so I ended up making it just shy of what I needed the dimensions to be. I ran out of extra shiplap, so just kind of doing a little bit of a, a janky ghetto, finish to it, but hey, if it works, it works. Good enough for government work. And just like before, cover it with a garbage bag, a contractor bag. You'll see I'm going to be putting the patches on top of it, the roof shingles, and just real simple, shingle everything up. This is probably excessive for most people. This is probably like, I'm investing too much into a project that was supposed to be free. I mean, this is all stuff, again, I've just had in the house. This is all stuff that's just been sitting around for years. So if it was going to sit around for another 2 years, why not sit around for 2 years on top of something that's being productive? And I can always just remove it and recycle it for another project if I really want to. But yeah, I mean, real simple, just putting all this stuff on, everything's all painted. And then once I was done with all of this, put the, snowblower back in there, and bada bing, bada boom, we are good to go, baby. And so now we've got the bonus project. Woo-hoo! Bonus project. So the bonus project, I had 2 extra pallets that I was like, you know what, let me just like do something with these. And I've got my treated 2x4s. I've had some extra end sections of the treated 2x4s. And I've got the other garbage cans. So you saw I had the one work garbage can that I put inside with the snowblower. And then I've got another 2 garbage cans and recycling that I have outside the house. You can't see it, but trust me, they are outside of the house. And for the longest time, I've had them in this one section next to my house, which is fine, I guess. I'm not complaining about where they were, but I definitely have been, kind of thinking to myself, man, if I could move these guys, I'd really like to move these guys. And so that's what I did with this. I built this little thing, super simple. I mean, look at this. It's literally just the 2 pallets with some cross or diagonal beams to support this stuff. I mean, this ain't going anywhere. I mean, these things are so heavy. There's plenty of space in between. So even if it was windy, it's just going to blow right through this. And so, again, give it just a nice, I had the extra black spray paint from finishing up this project, and or extra cans from the project. Again, $3 spray paint cans, nothing insane. So just throw it nice little black finish, just, because hey, it just, so in the back of my head when I go past this, it's like, oh yeah, like this is nice, like matte black looking, black garbage cans, black things, it all just, matches, looks nice. But this is literally just so I could put the trash cans on top. I mean, and it's nice and heavy, so this thing ain't going anywhere. The trash cans are staying nice and secured, and it's just again more things that I've been wanting to cross off of the random checklist stuff, and I already am outside. I'm already sweating. I already have all of this stuff. I'm already working with the wood. It's just like, hey, Luke's OCD. Let's just crank all this stuff out. So finished it up. Here's literally the front of my house where the garbage cans are, and I just drag this thing into place. You could see the ground kind of dips down a little bit in that section, so sometimes the trash cans like fall against the white part of the fence and kind of bend the fence a little bit. And so literally just, put the trash cans there, nice and heavy, bada bing, bada boom. I don't think I put it in the video, but I end up using some bungee straps to bungee them down. But I mean, look at that. Perfect. 2 cans right there. I've got the other can with the wood that's going to be thrown out. I've got the other can underneath the lean-to. And I mean, I just couldn't be happier with this project. Ended up coming out real nice. We got some pictures of the final stuff. Literally just the garbage cans. Any extra stuff, I could just throw it on the exposed part. Nice and simple. And then the final picture of the lean-to with its shingly glory. So thanks for watching. Crafting with Luke. Like, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.
Like the vid, leave a word, drop a comment, get absurd. Subscribe if you had some fun. We drop bangers one by one. Check the description down below for all the links you need to know. Thanks for watching. You're the best. Now